All right, what's up, y'all? It's Nicey Nate, and welcome back to the That Talk podcast. If you're new, please consider leaving a review. Please consider sharing this with a friend. Word of mouth is really how I'm getting all my product and my content out there. So, I feel like that's the biggest blessing to me is when I hear people sharing my content or, the stuff that I'm creating with the podcast and the YouTube with others and how it's helping them. So please consider. But today, man, I skipped last week on the podcast. I've been doing one episode a week, but I skipped last week because I'm honestly feeling super overwhelmed. Like, I can't even lie to y'all. Everything that's going on right now with coronavirus and with protests and with the government and with social media and like, I'm not even gonna lie, man. I couldn't even try to conjure up like anything to talk about. I have all these thoughts running through my mind normally that are, all creative, all positive, and motivational, inspirational, all these things. But lately, I feel like my subconscious and my mind has just been so clouded with everything that's going on. And yes, I think that's to extent, that's okay because of our current situation. There does need to be some changes happening 100%. Like, things cannot go on how they are going on because clearly we see that they don't work. But I think I'm at a point where it's starting to eat me up, and I'm starting to sacrifice my inner peace for the next post or the next opinion or somebody not agreeing with how I think about everything that's going on. And I'm getting to the point where I'm not sleeping as much. I'm waking up with anxiety, all because of it. And I feel like really this is what happens to a lot of us. Like, we let water into the boat. Like, and I feel like this is what has made me different than a lot of people in the last, I would say, probably solid year and a half that I've been kind of on this, spiritual and inspirational journey, is that I got to the point where I had to realize that if I was letting what everything going on around me affect my vibe and my aura and my, and everything about me, and that's what I've always done before, is that, so and so, it was never my fault. It was never my fault why I was in a bad mood. It was never my fault why I was angry. It was never my fault why I lied. It was never my fault why I cheated. It was never my fault why I talked shit. Like, I was always letting water into the boat, and I feel like I'm starting to slip up and let water in the boat by everything that's happening right now. Yes, do I need to be informed? 100%. I need to be informed. I need to know the latest news. But at what point do we stop sacrificing, and I'm talking about myself, our inner peace just to know what's going on? Just to see what so and so is posting. Honestly, I don't see a whole lot of people posting positive shit. I really don't. Like, all you that think you're doing so much for whatever, like, why don't we try and flip it, please? And I talked about this on Instagram the other day. I don't know, and this is just my opinion. I am 100% entitled to my opinion. So are you. I respect your opinion. Please respect mine. I personally don't think that we have a whole lot of say in anything. I think that the almighty dollar is what controls everything, and I think that the majority of us are on a level where, unless we all come together, because right now this is just a bunch of division going on, unless we all come together, all of us on the majority, nothing we say matters. So why are we getting up every day just to post and argue about negative shit? So, again, this is just my opinion. I don't get into it. I don't inject myself into politics that much because that's not my forte. I'm not a politician. I don't ever plan on being one. So I don't do that much research. Yes, I know surface level stuff, but I don't do that much research. So instead of going on, and especially people that I know that don't know nothing about politics, go on and talk shit about Donald Trump, you are creating a negative vibe for yourself, for whatever you represent. If you have a company, if you have a brand, like, come on. I understand that you don't agree with what's going on, but when are we going to get to the point? And this is like law of attraction 101. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. So right now, all you're focusing on is the negative. So flip it. Can you tell me whoever, and again, I personally, I don't inject myself in politics. I don't know what either party represents. I don't know what each individual candidate represents, but can you tell me what your position, which person represents that position? The majority of you probably not. Because you don't pay attention to that, you just talk shit. You're just negative. You just talk about all the negatives about those people. Bro, let me ask you something. Like, if you were a politician, if you were in fame, could somebody have a camera on you all the time and you not say something stupid? It's crazy that we say a bunch of things that are probably not politically correct and probably not okay to be said, but because you're not famous, because you don't have a body of work that makes you someone that anyone wants to listen to or care about your opinion, you let yourself off the hook. Yeah, but a bunch of people, a bunch of famous people, a bunch of politicians, a bunch of governors, all these people are saying and doing things that people don't like, but man, these people are humans. These people have hard jobs. When are we going to start being compassionate and realize that we are more alike than different? As humans, as one race, as humanity, we are all more alike than different. Stop separating us. Stop separating us by tax brackets. Stop separating us by where you're from. Stop separating us by all this bullshit. And one thing that I want people to know is what I know for a fact that makes us more alike than different, because life doesn't spare anyone. Life will take any person you know, including yourself and including me, and life will beat you to your knees and you will beg for mercy. Whether you lose a family member, where you have a family member that falls to a drug addiction, whether you fall to a drug addiction or alcohol dependency, whether you open a business and you file for bankruptcy, whether you get in a car accident and get hurt, I don't care what it is. Nobody is safe. Nobody is protected from life. Nobody is protected from hardship. Because the universe, God, whatever it is that you believe in, will teach you lessons that you need to learn. I don't care how much money you got, you're going to get hit emotionally. You're going to get hit physically. I don't care how spiritually sound you think you are, you're going to get hit financially. Like, that's why I'm honestly so confused and so caught up in like this anxiety of what's going on, because I'm honestly confused, because I've put myself and been through some very, very, very emotional and mentally taxing times in my life. And I've done that inner work. I've gone to the deepest depths of where I never wanted to go and dug up things that I never wanted to dig up. And that helps me provide compassion for everybody. And I think that's the problem, is that some of us, and a lot of us, the big percentage, are so surface level that How can you feel compassion for somebody else if they don't think what you think? Because you've never gone there. You just blame everybody else for your issues. You blame everything on everybody else. It's never your fault. So, of course, how would you have compassion for somebody else? I just think that we need a new perspective on life. We cannot categorize people. We can't put people in boxes because of where they're from, what kind of job their parents have. Like, stop attaching people and stop attaching yourself to things to represent. And I don't know if anybody listens to Tony Robbins or watches Tony Robbins content, but he talks about one of his human needs that he says is contribution. So we need to be a part of something. But what we do is we box ourselves into these cookie cutter groups that were created by people that don't care about us or our mental health or our physical health or our well-being. Like, none of these groups that people are getting boxed into and I would say claiming to represent, or honestly, like, it's all a part of a bigger plan. And until you really step back and see what's really going on, instead of talking, listen. Everybody's talking right now. That's why I don't share my opinion a lot, because I want to listen. I want to hear what's going on. People are going to tell you who they are. Politicians, police, your friends, your family. People are going to right now are going to tell you who they are based upon how they treat you during this time, because this is the number one subject that people are talking about. Find out how strong your friendship is. Find out how strong your family is. If you have a different opinion with somebody and they never talk to you ever again, find out that. Listen and watch people's actions. Stop talking. Stop being negative. And one thing I want to touch back on that again, because this is so important. Like, this is so important. I don't know what it is, because I used to be like this. I really, really did. Instead of taking my whatever I did want and building that whole campaign of what I want and positivity up, I would take the exact opposite and make it negative. I hate that. Well, instead of hating something, why don't you like something? Like, this will change your whole life. Stop talking about shit that you hate. Stop talking about stuff that you don't like. Stop talking about what you don't want for your life. Stop talking about what other people are doing that's affecting you negatively. Start worrying about yourself and start worrying about positivity. If you don't like what the government's doing, if you don't like what Trump's doing, tell me what, instead of talking shit, tell me what your person is doing. And again, I don't get into politics, so this is not a political debate right now. This is about you, your inner peace, and your vibe. Like, tell me what your representative does. If you don't like police, if you don't like what, instead of talking shit, instead of FTP, instead of burning, like, whatever, like, tell me what we should do better. Because I'm telling you, like, energy and the universe and all this is real. Like, this is so real, and this can affect your life in such a big way. If you are constantly pushing negativity, that is all you're going to see. And I'm telling you right now, you have something listening to you all the time. The content that you are consuming online is placed in front of you on purpose. And you're tripping if you think that when you talk about something and you see an ad on Amazon like an hour later that, oh, it's funny, look, I was just talking about this. Do you honestly think that if you are talking badly about something, having a conversation about how much you hate somebody or how much you hate something or how much you hate an organization, that exact same kind of content is going to pop up, and now you're creating a negative cycle of, and it's going to keep going and going and going, because then you see something negative, you repost it, you piss somebody off that doesn't think the same as you, because now these days nobody can have their own opinion. If you don't agree with what I agree with, then you get it. And then you have to argue with them, because that's what people do. Because we live in a world where we can talk to so many people at one time that we can just argue with everybody we want to. And then guess what? You take it home to your spouse and your children if you have them. And then guess what? Your wife gets mad at you because you're in a bad mood. Your girl gets mad at you because you're in a bad mood. Your kids get pissed off because you don't want to do what they want to do. And then you go to bed mad. And guess what? You probably take it out on somebody on the internet. Like, well, people, anything that you don't like about somebody is a reflection of yourself. Think about it. Anything that pisses you off that somebody else does is a reflection of you. Like, why are people holding somebody's opinion that you don't know at such a high priority that it can ruin your day? And think about how many people fall victim to this. You wake up and the first thing you see is something negative, or someone sent you a message, or you post something and somebody replies, and your whole day is ruined. And you're going to argue with them. For what? For what? I used to do this. Check yourself. If you are arguing on Facebook, you need to involve yourself in more important things. I'm sorry if that offends you. Don't argue with people on Facebook. Don't argue with people on the internet. It is the biggest waste of time ever. Because guess what? It never ends. But you know why we do it? Because it's a distraction. You don't want to take responsibility for whatever you have going on in your head and whatever shortcomings you have and whatever success that you don't have. So instead, we take it out on people on the internet. And guess what? Not only is riots, protests, politics, coronavirus trending, guess what's also trending? Insecurity, bro. Arguing on the internet with people that you have never met and are never going to meet. You value their opinion so much that you let it get into your inner peace, and you are willing to sit on your phone and argue with them for hours. Tell me why. It's not worth it. Stop doing that. I'm telling you, when you get to the point where other people's opinions no longer matter, and again, it's not about them. What they're saying is not, if you are grounded in yourself, who you are, what you believe in, the only time you argue is when you get offended. And the only reason you get offended is because you get confused. You take things personal because you're confused about who you are. If I know exactly who I am, exactly what I stand for, and I'm firm in it and I'm confident in it, and I know that what I believe is correct and what I believe is right about myself and my own and my family, I don't care what you think. I wish somebody would try to argue with me on Facebook. I wish somebody would talk shit. Every single day I'm blocking people. I don't play. people comment on my motorcycle videos and on my wheelies all the time. The second you get something negative from me, if I don't know you and I don't know that you're joking and I don't think you're joking, I don't care. Goodbye. Why would I argue? You only have so much. You have like this, and everybody's is different. Everybody has only so much bullshit they can deal with in a day. And I'm telling you, it's going to come, especially right now. It's different for everybody. I have a decently high tolerance for bullshit. Somebody says something to me, it doesn't bother me. A lady tells me to wear a mask at the grocery store, I don't give a shit. Like, it doesn't bother me. But a lot of y'all, the first thing that pops up in the day, and your day is ruined. It's not about them. The inner work needs to be done. So stop spinning your negative, stop letting this negative energy creep into your peace and letting it affect your whole life, because that's what? Then the rest of your day is ruined. Then you don't get done when you need to get done. Then you waste more time. Then you go home thinking about it. Then your mind's not clear. Then your mind's not creative. Then you're not putting out content you're supposed to be putting out. Then you're not doing the writing you're supposed to be doing. Then you're not doing the reading you're supposed to be doing. Then your whole life gets thrown off because you let negativity into your life. And that's why I'm saying, I know people have strong opinions, and I respect your strong opinions about all the things that are going on. But when it comes down to it, what is more important? The stuff that you read and the stuff that you post and the stuff that you think you represent, that we think that we can change, or your inner peace, your home, your creativity, your hobbies, like your life, your mental health is more important than anything that you're reading on the internet right now. You can be informed and not get involved. Remember that. You can read something and you can move on. You don't have to go read 20 more articles about it. You don't have to see what so-and-so's posting. You don't have to get on this little trail that we get on social media. Click here, comment, click their profile, check their followers, check this, check that. Like, you don't have to get on that trail. You can be informed without getting involved. You can hear about what happened and you can leave it at that. Unless you have a way to deliver something in a positive manner, what is the point? Like, just try it, please, guys. Try to flip this whole thing around and try to flip these messages into, even though you don't agree with what's going on, flip it to positive, not only for the people around you, because I guarantee you are going to open up so many eyes. Like, when was the last time someone had a conversation, you were having a conversation with somebody, and they told you you were wrong and you changed your mind? I'll wait. Never has somebody looked at you and said, you wrong. What you think is not right. You're an idiot. You're stupid. And you said, you know what? You're right. No, I guarantee if somebody ever changed your mind, they had an open conversation with you where they listened to you and you listened to them, and you're like, you had a breakthrough. You're like, oh, wow. Yeah, I guess, I never really thought of it that way. But if someone looked at you and was like, you're dumb, you're racist, you're stupid, you're ignorant, are you ever going to change your mind? Absolutely not. So the point here, to me, is there should be an emphasis on working on cracking down on the division. Because yes, at some point, our little voices do matter, but a million little voices matter that all think the same, or can agree to disagree, or can come to a conclusion of one common goal. But until we get to the point where we stop being keyboard warriors, where we stop talking shit to people that we don't know in a negative manner, we start telling people that they're idiots and telling people that they're racist and telling people that they suck, and then tell like, we're never going to get anywhere. So actually, I had a whole different topic for today, but I got going on that, and I feel like I had to get that out because, again, I feel like my creativity has been crunched, and my work life, I feel like, is starting to take a little bit of a toll because I'm constantly thinking about what's going on. Do people, you know, what are people thinking about? Are people, caring what, like, my mind has been clouded, and I just had to vent that. I had to get that out, and I appreciate y'all for listening. And please, please, just try taking a new perspective in the form of positivity. This isn't for a benefit of your politician. This isn't for a benefit of your police. This isn't for a benefit of your government. This is a benefit of yourself, your mental health, your peace, and your loved ones that are close to you. So please don't make it into something that it's not. Don't make it into that I can't express myself. If your only way to express yourself is in a negative way, you have a problem. And you need to sit back and reflect and think about that.